Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Greybirds. My name is Wayne, and to my left over here is my good friend Bug. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Wayne. What's happening?
Another day in paradise. A little rainy today. How about you?
Yeah, same, raining and stuff. The family sleep. My queen is in her bed, all snugged in like a bug in a rug. The teenager's back, and
I'm trying to. I,
she's in her cave
yeah,
doing whatever teenagers do when they're in their cave.
yeah. I have to laugh. I'll tell everybody. Yesterday, Bug and I were playing Call of Duty, Warzone to be exact, and
Mhm.
he goes, "Ah, you're back." And I couldn't help but. I was like, "Boy, I hope he's not in his underwear." Or worse.
Could have been. I did have a Adam and Eve types weekend.
Mhm.
So if you guys ever read the Bible, you know them bad boys didn't have no clothes on. So that was me. That's TMI, but sometimes you have to exercise your rights.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Go back to the bare minimum.
yeah. Well, like everybody, so they know, we usually sit and talk on the phone. We've been talking on the phone probably 45
No,
minutes to an hour.
45. Yeah.
Thing what we should be talking about on the show, but some things are not meant to air on for public consumption, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we have some, one thing we have some really good conversations, him and I, that we can talk freely about certain things that are taboo in many and the downfall to many podcasts. Not that I don't really consider us a podcast, but maybe we are. I don't know.
Yeah.
Uh, and people get fired over, I guess. But we
Oh
were,
yeah, yeah. You're right. There's
yeah,
certain things as a black man I'm not supposed to subscribe to or say or whatever. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? But you know. I'm
yeah.
also a Christian too. You know what I'm saying? On
Well,
many things.
that in itself anymore seems to be uh, taboo, right?
Hmm.
And that's the thing that gets me is that people, that they're so against the teachings of the Bible and Jesus Christ, and you know
Yeah.
it is I don't even know. I
Hey
don't
man, it's a war.
understand it, right?
Understand it, right? It's a war going on.
Yeah.
We'll have to discuss that one of these days. But yeah, like we was talking about, we start talking about the rights that we have in America.
Hmm.
They're good. Now you got some bad actors out here, but
Well, yeah,
the
you're
principles
absolutely.
are good. You know what
That's the
I'm
thing.
saying? Mm-hmm.
You could almost sit and say, right, that because we have so many freedoms that it almost somewhat causes problems. Not that I would want it to be changed because people are, they 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 think their freedoms extend to things that maybe it shouldn't, right?
Right. That's
And
right.
and we talk about we had this conversation with one of our very loyal listeners and commenters, KB.
Mm-hmm.
He made a good point about we're talking about freedoms. Is he doesn't think it's a good idea that the president sends in troops to enforce laws.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
That's his sentiment on that issue. It was good. It was a good discussion. I can
and I and
understand
I
his
will
point.
and I will agree with him. We shouldn't have to get having to resort to that is not a good thing in my opinion.
Right.
I think that it sends the wrong message of what the president of the United States is. But you have to
Yeah.
look at the bigger issue, right? This isn't just one isolated. This is happening in numerous large cities in this country.
Hmm. Yeah. Look at it on a like we was talking earlier. The smallest government in America, right, is the family unit, right? in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, you're
So
absolutely right.
now, if I'm in there, let's just flip the script. Let's just say my wife is beating me, right? And she's like, "This is my house, and I run this house the way I want to run." Now she's
Yeah,
somehow can beat me up, right? And she's beating me and beating the kids, right? Gonna hope that there's some outside agency that's gonna come to our rescue. And there is that agency that exists. It's called the police.
well,
The
yeah,
police is gonna come in and start regulating my unregulated house. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna put things back in order because things are out of order. That's it at the small, and nobody likes that.
no,
But it has to be done. You're not running this house the way it's supposed to be ran. So an outside agency's got to come in and protect the law-abiding citizens of that domicile. You know what I'm saying? From certain activities. That's on the smallest scale that I can put it. Same thing. Let's put it on a bigger scale. Chicago.
mm,
You guys from Illinois or from Chicago in particular, your government is failing. You guys have adapted this thing. This is the way it is. We're good with 50 murders every weekend, and your citizens, a large portion of them lives in stark terror. And even your neighboring border states and towns that want to go there to visit, their concern is, am I going to get shot? It shouldn't be a concern. I should be able to go over to any American city I want to and visit my relatives or sightsee or whatever it is I want to do, shop, without the fear of being killed.
yeah,
So being it,
in relative safety. Well, that's not
yeah,
happening. That's the
relative
problem.
safety. You know, I might get hit by a car, but I shouldn't have to worry about getting shot. So if your elected officials are not getting it done, your action should be to replace them. And it's been going on for decades, so evidently you have not, you're choosing badly, okay? So, this problem has persisted for years. We got a president now, like, hey, you know what? They're within my jurisdiction. I can change Chicago. Chicago is a city. They got these great hot dogs. They got these great freaking sandwiches and burgers and football team or whatever it is. And people should be able to enjoy that. So I'm fixing to regulate this thing. I'm gonna put these troops out here. Now nobody's happy about that. Well, very few. Or the ones that are happy about, they're not getting the microphone, they're not being aired. Yay, thanks. Thanks.
Yeah,
We've been waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? They're not getting airplay. But this is what has to happen. Or if you guys, you got to get real then, you know. So that's my take on it. Anybody in opposition to that, I'd love to hear what you got to say. KB, he's in it. He doesn't agree with me. He's a good friend, good workmate. He's always keeping me out of bear traps when he can.
mm,
But well, with opposite side, I understand his position. He's like, man, the federal government overreach. You know, he's fearing of. I'm thinking, I think that's his problem. His concern is that, hey, man, you don't want these federal troops coming in here, but yeah, that's their job. When you got a breakdown of the existing government, just like in the family unit, you got to have another agency come in and regulate. Now it could go bad because some other mugs. I understand the concern, Kyle. I want to say that. You know, the government coming in and tell my son that he's a girl, and if I don't allow him to be a girl, they're gonna come in. Yeah, I get that,
yeah,
but we're
yeah. I mean,
talking about
it's a fine line in some things, right? It's just
fine line.
yeah, and
Mhm.
if your state government refuses to take action on a city that has the per capita highest murder rate per capita, and you fail, the governor of the state should do something about it.
Yeah.
And that should be the, if you got, you got local government, the city, the state,
Mhm.
county,
Mhm.
state, whatever. If they're
Mhm.
not enforcing the rules of law, and I think that's the trouble. The next step is the federal government. That's why we pay taxes. We're there to protect us provide for a common defense, right? That could be, I want them to defend me from my criminals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the other
Federal,
side of the coin. When you look at it, it's
mhm.
like they have a responsibility to the citizens of this country to make sure that each and every citizen and visitors of whatever are safe, that they can freely move about this country. That's what's great about this country is the freedom that we have. And if you can't, um, I would want somebody to do something, right?
Yeah. But yeah, you want somebody to do something. You want somebody to step in, but these
There
are
is a family breakdown. We've talked about that too, you know.
hmm. You look, there was a time where there was in America it was like, okay, let's be separate but equal, right? Separate but equal. That didn't
Yeah,
work out too well. All right.
yeah,
It wasn't equal. Or whatever. It wasn't equal. So they was like, all right, let's go with integration. We're gonna just throw everybody in this bowl. We're all Americans, bump all that. We're United States,
yeah,
and it was pushback, but the federal government had to get involved. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna be one nation, we're gonna be one. It's gonna be some growing pains, but we're gonna,
yeah,
God dog it, we're gonna do it. And they did it. They sent troops down to one of these. I can't remember what state it was. It might was Alabama, Mississippi. And they escorted these kids into the school. Hey, you bad
yeah,
boys are gonna accept these kids. And now guess what? We're playing football, volleyball, sports together, making records together, racing each other, wrestling, calling each other friends, going to war together, doing all this cool stuff. Talking, making a show called Graybeards, black and white, no pun intended, huh?
yeah.
Graybeards, huh? So
Well,
hey,
where I grew up is a very segregated city, and I've said this before,
hmm.
right? I had friends that lived in different parts of the town. They were different, So the city I grew up was very segregated. You had German, Polish,
Hmm.
Italian, Irish, the Greek. We're all very, yeah. But you, you, you didn't go over to, you didn't go in an Italian neighborhood and start, you know, um, dishing the Italians. You didn't, or whatever. You pick a place, right?
Hmm.
You just
Yeah.
because you knew that it was not, it was morally unacceptable to, make
Hmm.
derogatory or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, this place sucks. Whatever. You didn't do it. You just didn't do that.
Why do
Not
you
an
guys eat
open.
freaking with olive oil all the time? What's happening? Hey, accept it. This turns out it's good for you.
Yeah.
If
Turns
you're
out
Greek
that
and you're
they
watching
didn't.
this show, you
Yeah.
guys
It
make
turns
great
out that
sense.
they actually knew something, right? And we didn't always see eye to eye and agree with things, but they did their thing, we did ours, whatever, right? We would go to their restaurants because we liked their food, or whatever. We would buy their products at the, lot of food products they would sell. We would buy. It's a commerce thing, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Me being a poor, and I'm a white dude, if you will, if I am, I don't know.
Hmm.
According to my DNA, I'm a mix of several different ethnicities, um, but I'm labeled a white dude.
Hey,
So
we're gonna hit the easy button. White.
yeah, the easy button,
We're
white.
not gonna even try to break it down.
Yeah,
Just
I
say,
mean, because
put it
I
over
mean,
here.
it's several different. You could
Yeah.
literally say ethnicities if you want. You
Hmm.
know, um,
Yeah. Me too. I'm
yeah,
mixed.
yeah. But are you?
I
But
don't even
according
know.
to the government, you're not. You're
Yeah,
you're
according
white.
to they're gonna label me. They're gonna put me
We
over in this
talked
category.
we talked earlier about your birth certificate. What it says,
Yeah, it was.
your
I didn't
race
say
was.
white. Oh, white.
Apparently, you're not a human race. I don't know. I don't get it. I think we're all. I think when I look at race, it's the human race, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Yeah,
lion,
we all
cats,
like the same
whatever.
thing, man.
Yeah.
The same darn things. And we go look. You go to we like football,
But
like
the thing
baseball. We like to
correct me
work.
if I'm wrong. We're talking about this DNA
Yeah.
wise, we're exactly the same.
We're the
right?
same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
It's
was
just like
you
the
know,
end. We are individual, right? We're the same they have different physiological characteristics.
yeah, that's right.
But I think that's the adaptive ability of our race, the human
Mm-hmm.
race, to
Yeah, the human
adapt to
race.
our environment.
If you guys gonna dwell down here, you're gonna need some melanin in your skin. Protect
Oh
you from
yeah.
the harmful effects of this radiation, this sun.
I'm not
Yes.
very tan right now because as I've gotten older, I don't know about you, but I don't stand. I can't. The heat just really tears me up. That I don't. So I choose not. If I don't have to
I'm
get
not
out in the
shooting a
heat,
bird at anybody, but I'm just saying this is evolution, which I don't believe in macro evolution, but nevertheless, this is adaptability, right? You see that? Can you see
right?
that little right there?
Yeah,
You would think that I'm
I see it.
2% Caucasian.
People that may not. Yeah, I mean that's pretty light. Are you sure you're
That's pretty
not
light.
Italian or something? Or what? I don't
I know
know.
it could be. I could be Italian. Two
Yeah,
percent, 2%.
yeah,
I simply
but
remove my wedding ring and show you guys a science. This is science. This is science. This is how. If you
that's
want to,
proof right. That's proof right there.
yeah.
That we adapt to our environment. We
Mm-hmm.
tan. Um, you. I don't even
And the
know what
sun
else to say.
has an effect.
That, for all those people that think just because of the color of their skin or their religious beliefs, we're all still comes down to, we're humans.
Still
Part of
humans,
the
man.
human race.
I don't care
Um,
what Darren, that whatever that baby is,
mhm,
it's gonna get some. I'm gonna treat it different. Oh, it's a
yeah,
Chinese baby. I'm gonna
yeah,
discriminate against it. Nah, I'm not gonna treat them all the same. Save them all,
yeah,
or human. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It don't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? And most people it don't. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's it. But
yeah,
back to Chicago and the government and governing this nation. We was also talking about we're going to lose these rights. These rights were created for mature people.
yeah.
You know.
Well, and that's the thing that nobody's willing to acknowledge that they're um, culturally there's a degradation. Is that a word?
Nation. Mm-hmm.
Of
That's a word.
morality in this country.
Facts.
I, and it's a very fine line because you have these freedoms to do what you want, right? But you don't have the freedom to infringe on another person's freedom to do what they want,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
it there there's this growing socialist whatever. There's this utopia idea that if everybody is equal, we're all the same and we'll all kumbaya together and break bread together if we're all, but nobody has a clear path on how to go there, whether you be Christian, Muslim, Jewish, um,
Yeah.
non-agnostic, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They all have their own beliefs on how this should go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's a recipe for disaster, right? Because nobody wants to give and take. But in this country, we have a freedom of religion. However,
Mm-hmm.
your freedoms are, as long as you're not infringing on another person's freedoms, it's very difficult for people to, I'm on this side, you're on that side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you're
Yeah.
more, this is hypothetical. I think you're morally corrupt in
Mm-hmm.
my view because of whether it be religion or whatever I believe, right? I don't agree
Mm-hmm.
with you. But in this
Mm-hmm.
country, I don't have the right to tell you, to force you to believe differently.
Right. Let's say you're within your religion, as long as you're not breaking any laws of this land, you can practice whatever religion you want to. You want
Yeah,
your wife to wear a mask every day, and she's good with that, then cool. Nobody's gonna like,
yeah,
no, I would accept it. Rebecca, you like wearing that mask? Yes, it's part of our culture. It's good. I like wearing the mask. Okay.
You had to put the, you could have just said,
I'm just saying. She probably speak with that dialect, or Shaniqua. Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah, I like doing with my husband. Whatever goes on in your house is what you like to do.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So that's cool. You're not breaking any law. You're not
yeah,
being abused or whatever. That's cool. It's just like it's almost like sex. You guys can have whatever kind of sex you want to have, long as it's not violating anybody.
yeah.
You're not feel like you're being abused or whatever. Then you're cool. You know, you want to be a Muslim, you want to be a Christian, you want to be a Hindu, whatever you want to be. You still got to
I
go by the
forgot the
golden rule.
Hindu. I forgot
Yeah,
about Buddhism, and
yeah.
I
All that. You want
apologize.
to sit here like this with your fingers up? I mean, I'm not gonna bother with you. You know what I'm
As,
saying?
but I think the problem is we're religious wise, we're charged with passing, the word, right?
Yeah, and this you can do it in a peaceful manner. And Jesus didn't. When he told his disciples, is if you tell them the word and they don't adhere to it, he said, just shake the dust from your feet and go on. You ain't got
Yeah.
to pull
Well,
a
there you
gun on
go.
them bad boys. That's it.
But,
Hey
but
man, Jesus died. No, I
yeah,
don't believe that. I don't want to hear about that. Then just keep moving. That's it.
yeah.
Not that
That's the
hard.
problem, though. That's where the problem comes in, right?
Hmm.
People
Yeah.
don't know when to walk away and
Gotta
knock the
walk away.
dust off. They don't know
Gotta
when to
walk away.
knock the dust off their sandals, if you will.
Walk on. It's not that bad. You don't have
Just
to,
walk
it's
away,
not
man.
one of those things. Yeah, just
Just
walk
walk
away.
away.
Go to the next house. Like
Yeah.
them guys that come to your house that you don't really want to talk to.
I,
I
oh,
can't think of the name of the guy.
I,
They go house
well,
to
the
house knocking on doors. I'd like to
Jehovah
tell you about
Witness.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Jehovah Witnesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They come there, and if I got time, I entertain them. If I don't, hey man, I don't. I think I'm good with what I got. You know,
Hmm.
they'll leave
Yeah.
you some pamphlets. At your leisure, read these, and we'll be back next month if you want to discuss it. Or here's a phone number. That's peaceful. They're not coming up to me with a gun. Hey man, look, you need to turn or burn, Jack.
Yeah. You're right.
You
They're
know what I'm
not.
saying? They're not doing that. So long as you're not infringing upon somebody's right, let me choose my religion or
Yeah.
not. I choose not. One of my best friends, I got a friend, I ain't gonna call his name because he might be ostracized, but he's atheist. I was like, I don't believe in none of them. Okay,
Well,
cool.
and that's fine. That's you. I'm knocking the dust off my sandals,
That's
and I'm
cool.
going on my happy way.
What's
That's it.
going on, man? I'm
But the
charged with
problem
spreading the
is,
word.
they will go to the extreme and disavow you, you know,
Hmm.
unfriend you or what have you, right? Because you said something they don't agree with.
Hmm.
You know, you can say that in the case with Charlie Kirk. He was, you know, in
Yeah.
my opinion,
Hmm.
he was given facts, right?
Hey, based
As
off the
he,
stuff
as
that
he,
I
he,
saw, it was good. I mean, I'm just total transparent. I was like I told you this morning. I was like, yeah, I've seen some good and bad salt and pepper type situation, but these guys actually took the time to lay out that entire statement that he made and his thoughts on black people. You know what I'm saying? Because
hmm
I heard something that was negative. You know what I'm saying? But once I heard it in its entirety, I was like, this is not bad. What's the problem? We
well, that's
say the
be,
same thing.
they, well, that's because they're fed stuff that's out of context, right? They don't
Yeah.
get the full context of the conversation that was being had. They'll
Hmm.
take snippets of it to push their agenda.
He
Um,
said some wonderful thing about blacks, whites, other people, Asians. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
he be like, yo, but he also identified a problem
yeah.
in
Regardless of the,
everybody. You know.
yeah.
So it's like, hey, this is a problem. We need to correct it. We need to do this. So
Well, I don't want to
I find,
equate. I'm not equating him to what Dr. King did and his messaging and he got killed for it as well, right? I'm not saying they're the same in any way, but he was trying to spread a message that, Christianity for one, right? And that
Mhm.
people, from the little I've watched of him, and same with Dr. King, was, I'm not fully versed on either one, and please
Right.
correct me
Me either.
if I'm wrong. Be clear is that they both were killed for spreading Christianity, that belief in equal, that everybody should be equal.
Yeah, equality.
Yeah. And
The fundamental principle of Christianity. You
yeah,
know what I'm
and then
saying? So,
yeah,
and I've
but
said,
it,
you know what I'm saying about 10 times.
but
You
that's
go
the
ahead. Which
thing,
kind?
and it's unfortunate, and that's what, something has to be done, and and I'm, back to the troops in, I guess they're in Chicago now. I heard that they landed in Chicago. I don't
Mhm.
know if I have not, I'm very, very skeptical about anything in the news, regardless of what channel you watch. I tell people to get out and read what's out there and not listen to the talking heads out there. Same with sports, right? The den think they know so much about sports. Um, this, just a quick thing about football, college, and NFL is just, you don't never know who's going to win week to week. You really don't.
Mhm.
Yes, I am saddened that Penn State lost to Northwestern by 1 point.
Mhm.
Um, their quarterback is out for the season in Penn State, so they were on a
I saw
backup.
that.
You know,
Yeah.
unfortunate season for them, but they were ranked like, oh, they're going all the way, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Not so much. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
like I said, it's a money making thing. You got talking heads out there that predict that's their job to do that, to make money. So it
yeah,
creates excitement, expectations, and all this stuff. So it's a money making thing. You know, it's a
yeah,
spinoff.
absolutely, and that's a problem in this country. There's people that are so they're ate up with you know, that they eat, sleep, and breathe sports. I'm like, yet they can't
Yeah.
change a tire. They can't change a tire, or fix a
Yeah.
light bulb, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get it. You waste so much time on sports,
Yeah. You
which is
know,
fine. I
Wayne.
mean, I'm not saying it right, wrong. It just to me
Yeah.
just blows my mind, right?
See,
That
this is the
I
deal. Wayne, you one of them guys. You walk down the hall of a certain building, was a hospital or something, and you got this thing encased in glass, right? That's you, and it's got some writing above it. Break in case of emergency. You know, right now with good times, leave Wayne and his ideas encased behind this darn glass here. But
yeah,
otherwise, we're gonna be out here having fun, doing all kind of stuff. And you're
yeah.
behind the glass, like, man, you can't even change your tire. Dude, what are you gonna do if the power goes out? You
Yeah, what are
can't
you
even
gonna do?
wire your house.
What are you
But
gonna
we
do
don't
with?
want to think about that right now. We're having a good time. We're doing this stuff, but then when something bad happens, guess what?
Mm,
Wayne, what do I do? Oh, my AC and my GMC is not working,
mm.
or the radiator something got a leak at
Yeah, but
my G.
that's a lot more complicated than changing a tire. I'm just saying, I'm just use that as an example.
I'm just saying, people ain't they have about the good times, man. We want to have fun, and this is fun.
Well, there's a
And
time
you're
for
like,
that. There's a time for that. I get it, right? I totally get it. I'm not saying they're wrong for, wanting to know about sports. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying is they um they put a lot more effort into knowing about that, and
yes,
we'll just say normal day-to-day things that we rely on for our well-being, they are oblivious to.
it's true. Facts. I mean,
And
that's
I
true.
and I think, I'm not saying sports is to be all downfall of
Mhm.
society. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just you can I would see that in a lot of other things when we talk about civil unrest, right? They're like, oh, it doesn't bother me. They're like, what are you walking around with blinders on? Earmuffs, whatever, the whole monkey
We're
thing,
safe.
you know,
We're safe. We
hear no
feel
evil, see
there's
no evil, speak no evil.
yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't exist.
Exactly.
They're living, and I was like, are you, you know,
Walking on sunshine.
yeah, it's like, and that's a
Nothing's gonna
good thing
happen
if
to
you,
me.
that's a great thing if you can do that in your life.
Hmm.
You're not worried about, I'm not worried about anything. You know, if things went to pot, the lights went out and we couldn't do this, my life will go on. There will be
Right.
people that will be destroyed over that. And they'll be like, look what happens when they threaten a hurricane, potential winter snowfall here in the South. There isn't a gallon of milk or a loaf of bread to be found, or toilet paper or whatever. They're like, how am I going to wipe my butt? Well, first off, you probably
Those
won't even be
hey,
able to
those
use the toilet because it won't work.
hey, those things are our society is set up, man, right now for it's ridiculous. But if something bad happens, you go in and get those 2 gallons of milk and there's 10 rolls of paper
How am I going to,
towels.
yeah, you sit there and go, how am I going to eat my Cheerios in the morning? I don't have any milk. I won't be able
That's
to
not
cook.
people. I mean, I understand. I mean, it has a certain calming effect. You feel like you're safe now that you got this toilet paper and
Yeah,
paper towels. But no, there's gonna be no. That's a you putting a band-aid on a darn gaping chest wound.
yeah,
If that you ain't even doing that, you just wipe it. I don't even know what you're doing.
yeah.
I don't know what's happening, but it's not gonna save you, okay? Because you still the main things of your house, you're to use that toilet. Let's just use the toilet paper for me. What if you can't flush your toilet? What if the water's gone? You know, what if your refrigerator's out? What's that? The electricity's gone, the power's gone. You can't sustain. But I understand you feel safe. You feel like that ostrich that stick his head in the hole. The
Yeah.
lion is gone. I can't see him. I can't detect him in no kind of way. So it's going, no, no, no. I'm sorry. That's Wayne's job. He's here to enlighten you bad boys. I know it's an unpleasant thing to hear. He got those
Yeah.
eyebrows and stuff. But what he's telling you is true. You need to learn some kind of survival, some basic survival need techniques, okay?
Skills. Yeah,
You need to
yeah,
yeah, survival skills. You need to have that. You need to develop that. You need to sit down with your family members and say what's gonna happen. More 99% of you guys you're not gonna adhere to that. You're not gonna do it. We'll be all right. Yeah, trial and error. Some people are gonna die. How you said, Wayne? Mistakes were made. Was made.
yeah,
I love that statement. Mistakes
yeah.
were made.
Yeah. Mistakes were
Mistakes
made.
were made.
Yeah,
That's a get
yeah,
out
and
of jail. Hey,
that's the thing. It's like it. Uh, the
I
bottom
like
line,
that.
we got about 5 minutes.
I
Bottom
got you, man.
line, I'm I. It's unfortunate, but I understand law and order needs to be brought back to these cities. I
Right.
don't. I worry about the message, the visual point of the federal government sending in troops to cities to enforce laws that they should already be enforcing anyways. Um, and learn some skills, people. Don't just rely on someone else to fix your problems. You know, that's my bottom line when it really comes down to it.
We gotta learn that. As I was shopping for some groceries yesterday, I realized what you and Cal have been saying. Because I've been living in a bubble myself, to be honest, just be totally transparent. Save your money as much as you can. Enjoy, have some fun, but be frugal with your money. Be frugal with what God has given you. The blessings. Don't just use it all and
Yeah,
then
I'm
just wait
sure.
for a reload. Yeah, save your money. Be smart with it. Keep some at the house. Keep some in the bank. Invest some, and hope for the best. That's all you can do.
I'm sure
But
there's
just
something
don't
in
stress.
the. I'm. I'm sure there's something in the teachings about
Oh
wasting.
yeah,
I'm
It
sure.
is.
I
God
don't.
don't like it. When
Yeah,
he made those 12 baskets of food for those folks, there was some left over. They didn't eat it all. Matter of fact, that's where the 12 baskets come from. He rained down this food on them. He says, get the baskets and fill them up. Don't throw any of this stuff away. Even though he could have done it time and time again, he's like, no, no, don't waste that.
yeah,
So he was conservative in nature. I
yeah,
made too much. I cooked too much fish and bread for you guys. So collect it. You're gonna need it later. Okay. So that's coming
yeah,
from God.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
waste stuff like we do. And he's like, nah, I'm not wasting a doggone thing. You know? So just keep that in mind.
That's that's the point that we all should be living in. It took me
Hmm.
a while to learn that lesson. I've been trying to live that life of frugal, and it's almost a burden sometimes, right?
It's work.
It is work.
Yes, sir. But I know our time is expiring, my friend. I
Yeah,
enjoyed it. I
yeah.
hope you listeners out there enjoy it. Throw those
Thanks for
comments out there.
yeah, thanks for watching. Hey, hit the
Yeah,
button to subscribe if you want. Doesn't cost you anything and kind of helps us out. Tells us people really enjoy our content. I know our viewership has been down. Life is busy. I get it, but leave a
that time of the
comment.
year.
Leave a
Yeah.
comment. Halloween is almost upon us. I know you enjoy
Oh
that.
yeah, I like this time of the year. The
Well,
autumn,
I like this
winter.
time of year. Period. It leads
Yeah,
up.
not just because of Halloween.
I'm already ready for Christmas music to start being
Hey, I
played.
do it when I'm doing yards. I'm playing Nat King Cole and some of these other
Oh
guys,
yeah,
Bing
man.
Crosby. These guys, I'm listening to it while I'm weeding somebody's yard.
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah,
bliss.
yeah. Calming, keeps you calm. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Reminds
does.
me of better times in life, the holiday season. It's quickly over.
Definitely, definitely. Hey, pray for the troops. Everybody's being affected by this government shutdown. Sooner or later,
Oh
it's gonna
yeah,
start affecting us all.
yeah. The
So
government
hopefully,
shut
we get it
down.
resolved.
I've been
Yeah,
through a couple of them myself. Um, I don't even really want to talk about the whole
the reason for the
holding
season.
people's pay their livelihood there's better ways to do it,
Hmm.
you know. And I implore everybody, get in touch with your congressman, your senator, and tell them to get out their ass and fix it.
Fix it.
It's,
No, go stop kicking the can
yep,
down the road. Balance
yep.
this budget.
Get a budget. They haven't done a
Yep.
budget in 15 years, I guess. I heard that somewhere. It could be wrong.
More,
Someone
yeah.
correct me. Correct me if I'm wrong. My arm disappeared when I do that. That's weird. What's
I
what's
put
up with
some
that?
music to it. You dancing. Doom, doom, doom,
Do that.
doom, 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 doom,
The
doom,
Trump
doom,
thing.
doom, doom.
That's about it, everybody. Have a great one. Enjoy your rest of your week coming up. Try to be safe out there and take care, and we'll catch you on the next one.
I echo the sentiment. God bless y'all.